You don't have to say not to blame the victim if, in fact, you are about to blame the victim. I read an article in Psychology Today that said observers of abuse typically focus on what the victim did wrong. She's not wrong for wanting her child to have the best education that she could afford in Panama. And what happened to her child is not her fault. It's not his either. Now, when it comes to thinking that racism doesn't exist and that being very self centered, I agree. And I'm happy that a Panamanian said it because I get a message at least once a week on one of my other posts of a Panamanian saying racism doesn't exist here. Or the most recent one I had was a man who said it doesn't exist like that here. So this is not me calling anybody self-centered. This is a comment from a Panamanian, I'm assuming, about other Panamanians who say that it doesn't exist. And when it comes to using these forums as research, if you're mostly English speaking and you put in those things, you're going to get mostly English speaking, usually American creators. And those creators don't typically talk about the hardships. They all talk about how beautiful it is. And I can say this a million times. I know it falls on deaf ears, but it is beautiful. But it is also a little bit off putting. It's almost like, and this is for my Americans, it's almost like when if you're from the South or Midwest and you move out west to the West Coast, feeling racism from other minorities. And as far as having the money to live in a more affluent neighborhood in Panama, it doesn't change anything. Like there was a case of Serena Williams, a famous tennis star, not getting served in Paris, and she had obviously has a lot of money. I have a friend in Panama who has a lot of money and had that same issue happen at that restaurant on Avenida Balboa, the one with the zip line. Her and her family sat there for 30 minutes before leaving because they refused to serve her. And even they bought their condo, and when it was first built, they were getting a lot of like, oh, you live here? And so their thing to try to like get back was to ask people before they could ask them if they lived here, because you do get looks. You get people wondering how you can afford to live there. And I don't think a lot of Americans, and this is who I make my content for, realize that those things will follow them.